Well, this is News Hour. You are right on time. It's exactly 9 p.m. Let's start with that ruling of the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, who has now, in a landmark ruling, stood by his determination that Kenya Kwanza is the majority in the August House. Wetangula has ruled in favor of his October 2022 determination that declared Kenya Kwanza as the substantive majority party, while Azimio Coalition as a minority. Wetangula's ruling is a departure from a High Court finding last week that he had erred by declaring Kenya Kwanza as the majority side. The Speaker, in a much-awaited decision, asked his legal team to appeal to the High Court order. But as Jeff Kirui now reports, the Azimio La Umoja Coalition has protested the directive, saying they will take further action against the ruling.
Last week, the High Court issued a landmark ruling that overturned the leadership of the National Assembly. The court determined that Wetangula in his previous ruling made a mistake by declaring Kenya Kwanza is the majority party in the National Assembly.
Order. Take your seats.
It also said that the Speaker of the National Assembly cannot hold two positions as Speaker and leader of a political party. But in a much-awaited verdict read in the August House this afternoon, Wetangula stood by his earlier determination and ruled that the status quo will remain. He affirmed that 165 MPs are affiliated to Kenya Kwanza Coalition, compared to 154 of Azimio La Umoja.
Arising from the foregoing, the Kenya Kwanza Coalition is the majority party, and the Azimio La Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party is the minority party in the House.
According to information from the Registrar of Political Parties, Kenya Kwanza, as it stands now, consists of 8 political parties, among them UDA, ANC, Ford Kenya, among others. Azimio, on their part, also has 8 political parties, including ODM, Jubilee Party, Wiper Party, KANU, and DAP Kenya. The Speaker, while recognizing the High Court order, said he had asked the legal team representing the National Assembly to move ahead and appeal the decision. The court ruling had threatened to paralyze operations of Parliament after ODM legislators announced they had taken over the majority side, pending the Speaker's ruling. Speaking after the ruling, Suba North MP Millie Odhiambo registered her dissatisfaction with the ruling.
I want to indicate that as Azimio, we very respectfully disagree. When a strong man steps on your mother's pipe, you tell your mother to remove her pipe. That philosophy acted when my mother, in the generation of my mother. In my generation, if Angamatek Onyonokwesumeru, you point at the eyes. You point at the eyes of Ngamatek, respectfully. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to say that today, you are Ngamatek. Ngamatek is the strong man. You are stepping on my mother's toe. But I will respectfully tell you, Mr. Speaker, that I don't agree with you as a strong man, that you are stepping on my mother's toe. And as Azimio, we are going to take further action until you stop stepping on my mother's.
When you obey the law, sometimes you may step on somebody. Sometimes you may not. But the law remains the law. And in the law we trust, in our constitution we trust.
And with the Speaker's ruling, Azimio La Umoja Coalition members who had occupied the majority side on the right side of the Speaker had no option but to retreat and cross over to their rightful place on the left. The ruling has for the time being settled the fight for the control of the House. The ruling now paves the way for the reconstitution of sessional committees that seizes every end of the year, including the powerful House Business Committee that sets the agenda for members of Parliament. Jeff Kirui, KTN.
Thank you very much, Jeff Kirui. Now, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, has now given his verdict on the majority and minority question in the August House. The verdict contradicts that of the court. And now we want to engage you on this development tonight, hence our big question. And we ask you, do you agree with Speaker Wetangula's verdict that Kenya Kwanza is the majority in the National Assembly? I repeat, do you agree with the Speaker Wetangula's verdict that Kenya Kwanza is the majority in the National Assembly? Send your responses, starting with a yes or no answer, followed by a brief comment to our toll-free number 22151. And you can also tag us on X at KTN News KE, at Doris Anki. And we will be glad to sample your feedback throughout this live newscast. All right, now let's move on to other developments and to the corridors of justice. Former Kiambu Governor